Harden trying to get free. Down to three, down to two. It's a three. Good! Good! He got it! James Harden, a flamethrower!
What's up, guys, and welcome to Hustle Hoops. This is the home of the Hustle Hoops podcast. I want to give a massive shout out to Al's Highlight World for the highlights. Today, I just watched the 76ers play the New York Knicks, and it was an absolute amazing game. I just want to start off by saying James Harden and Joel Embiid, they look deadly. Obviously, this is their second game together. The game on Friday, Harden did have 27 and 10 against the Timberwolves, and now today he follows that up with almost a 30-point triple-double. He had 29, 10, and 16. He had a bunch of steals. He was just looking absolutely amazing. And I do understand this could be an overreaction, but at the same time, I do want to say James Harden looks very engaged, both on defense and on offense. He looks very engaged. He looks happy. And so this duo does seem to be a duo that can win it all. I do still think the Bucks can come out the East. I still have the Bucks as my favorite, but as of right now, you still do have the leading MVP candidate in Joel Embiid, someone who has won an MVP in the past in James Harden. You have Tyrese Maxey playing like an absolute bucket right now. He's scoring all the time. He had 20 something this game. Tyrese Maxey was going crazy, getting and one, slapping the floor. It just looks very good. The only problem I would mention right now with this squad is the fact that you don't have a very engaged Tobias Harris. I think he did end up scoring some like in the second half, but he's had 0 points at in the first half. That's unacceptable for someone who we know is getting paid as much as he's getting paid, for someone we know who can average 18, 19, almost 20 points a game. And so that's something that they're going to have to watch out for. They're going to have to try to get him more involved. But the big thing, obviously, is to talk about James Harden and Joel Embiid. And in terms of that duo is looking very deadly. The James Harden, Joel Embiid pick and roll is looking crazy. At least like 3 or 4 or 5 times in this game, it was just a Joel Embiid pick and roll, and they were just taking whatever the defense gave them. Okay, James Harden comes off the screen and roll, and you commit to me, I'm going to pass it off to Joel. He's going to get a mid-range bucket, or he's going to go all the way to the rack and get a dunk. Here it is right here. Pick and roll. Okay, what you going to do? I'll kick it out. They cut off Joel. They cut off Harden. He kicks out to Tyrese for easy floater. It was just butter. And people were saying Joel Embiid, he's not a roll man. He don't know how to roll. He's a post up guy. It's not going to work. James Harden likes a Clint Capella type center. No, what you have to understand is talent will always overrule. Joel Embiid is the best center in the NBA. You don't think he knows how to roll to the cup? Yeah, he likes to get his ISOs. Yeah, he likes to get his post-ups. He likes to draw his free throws and all type of stuff. And he did draw a bunch of fouls this game. He actually did end up having over 20 free throws made and over 20 free throws attempted. And so he's still going to get his free throws. He's still going to get his ISOs. He's still going to get his post-ups. But we know James Harden is somebody who loves to operate out of the pick and roll. And so they have a heavy dose of James Harden, Joel Embiid pick and roll. And as you just saw right there on the screen, it's absolutely butter. And so I think that's the scary thing, just the versatility that this brings, because we do know Harden still can get his ISO buckets. Harden did have some times where he had a couple ISO bink, step back threes. He still did some of that. He's still going to get to the cup, draw his fouls. Joel Embiid can still do his ISO, his sweep through. He got the rookie with the sweep through foul in the first quarter. He's going to still draw his free throws. He's still going to do his post fades. He's still going to do his mid range. He's still going to get the rebound and go coast to coast. He can still do all the things that Joel Embiid was doing. But hey, now on top of that, now I have the best pick and roll player in all of basketball. And so that's the scary part, where Joel Embiid, at first, he had to create all of his buckets on his own because he didn't really have a playmaker, because Ben Simmons wasn't playing this season. Now it's going to unlock his game even more. I know some people were saying, well, now that James Harden is there, Joel Embiid, he might not get the MVP because he might have to take a back seat to James Harden. Not necessarily a back seat, but like his production is going to go down because Harden's going to take the ball out of his hands, or his scoring is going to go down because there's less pressure. I truly think, and we see it in the last 2 games. The first game against the Timberwolves, Joel Embiid had 34. This game, he has 37. Joel Embiid scoring is going to stay right where it is. Joel Embiid it's only going to get easier. And so now what I saw in this game, I didn't watch the game against the Timberwolves, but what I saw in this game, it didn't seem like Joel Embiid had to work too hard for his buckets. Now we do understand it's the New York Knicks and they don't provide the best resistance, but at the same time, I was just watching this game and Joel Embiid was just having his absolute way. Yeah, he still got his double teams, he still got his triple teams or whatever, but it didn't seem like he had to exert as much energy, because when you have a great point guard, everybody knows if you play basketball, the two things that make a team so much easier to operate, the two things that calm everything down, is if you have a great point guard and a great center. And so for the center, the point guard makes the center's job so much easier, and a good point guard, and a good center makes the point guard's job a lot easier. And so this is a perfect match because both of them are making each other's jobs that much easier. Joel Embiid doesn't have to worry about so much because he knows Harden's going to get him in his spots. Harden doesn't have to worry about so much and try to put so much pressure on himself like he was doing in Brooklyn. He's talking about something, I don't know when I need to score or when I need to pass, or I don't know how to fit in where I get in. He doesn't have to worry about that now because he has a great center. A great center always calms everything down. It makes life so much easier for a point guard, somebody who loves to play make. James Harden finished with 16, 17 assists this game because he can just do what he wants to do because he knows that everything is calmed down with Joel Embiid in the paint. And they have people who he can kick out to in need be. You saw the skip pass he made in the corner to Tyrese Maxey when he got that floater. And so everything is just working out. Everything is flowing. The only thing, like I said, that is troubling me with this squad and that I think could potentially hold them back would just be, I wouldn't trust this team if Tobias Harris is only getting if he's getting under 10 points a game. He has to learn how to get his buckets. Obviously, this is a one-off scenario. I don't think this is going to continue to happen, but Tobias is going to have to get his bucks, bro, because without him, that's going to be dangerous because they can't rely on Tyrese, Joel, and Harden to score everything because Matisse can't score. They don't really have Shake Milton can score a little bit off the bench, but he's going to have to get his buckets. So, I don't know. This team looks very good. Let me know what y'all boys think in the comments about the 76ers. I'm excited to watch Harden. I'm a huge fan of Harden. So, I'm going to catch you on the next video.